Hello and welcome to Soulmate Coach Crystal, where we learn to attract, create, and maintain relationships that are lasting and loving. Today we're going to talk about 5 signs that he's not going to marry you, despite what he says. And of course, there are always exceptions to these rules, so please, it's not just like these rules are it and that's it. But there are definite signs that he's not thinking about marrying you, at least not anytime soon. Statistics show that, like, over the age of 25, once you've dated for 3 years consecutively in a committed relationship, the chances of getting married, him proposing, actually decline every year after that. And so there are a few things that a man says that let you know that he's not thinking about marrying you. The very first one is he tells you he doesn't want to get married, or he doesn't see himself married. That's a really big sign that he's probably not going to marry you. He may live with you, he may have children with you, he may do a whole lot with you, may be very committed to you, but marrying you, if he says he doesn't see himself married, trust what he's saying, believe that he's telling the truth. You're not going to change him, you're not going to change his mind if that's where he is. Number 2, he talks about marriage only in a future-based way, and that means that when he talks about marriage, he's going to say things like, one day I'm going to get married. Oh, I can see myself getting married down the road. One day in the future, sometime, out there, I can see myself getting married. Big sign that he's not thinking about marrying you. Marriage is something that it feels like he's got to put very far out in the future to even be comfortable really thinking about. And so if you've been with somebody and they talk about marriage like that, that's a sign that they are not thinking about marrying you. Number 3 is he uses but when he talks about marriage, and it goes a little something like this. I love you. You're the only woman for me. That I'm going to marry you, but I need to get a better job first. But I need to get myself together. But I'm going to do it when I'm ready. Or it may even go to, but I want to buy you a nice ring and I don't have enough money for that. But you deserve a beautiful wedding and I want to save for that. And so, there's this but, and some of these things, like, people might say, but I want to save for a wedding. Okay, maybe that could be true, but if he's not saving for a wedding, if he's making no steps towards doing the things he says he needs to do in order to marry you, he's probably not thinking about marrying you. Number 4, you guys have been together for a number of years. You've put on the table you want to get married. You want to get married, and yet every year, every Christmas, birthday, anniversary, holidays that come up, you get a designer bag, you get a diamond bracelet, you're getting Tiffany's, you're getting trips, you're getting beautiful gifts, you're even getting maybe even a friendship ring, a commitment ring, not an engagement ring. A sign that he's not thinking about marrying you anytime soon. So if he knows what you want and he still just continues to buy the things, he really probably is buying time. I can't say for sure, but that really is a sign that he's not thinking about marrying you. My late husband and I dated for 6 years before we got married. And, I talked about that 3-year thing. And so I hinted at marriage. I suggested marriage. I dropped all types of hints. I wanted to get married. And I cried, I begged. He just didn't seem like he really wanted to get married. And so finally I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put it out here. I said, I love you very much. And I would love to be with you. But if you don't want to get married, I'm going to have to go because I want to get married. And I deserve to find someone that wants to marry me, to find someone that I can have that kind of relationship with. I deserve to have that, and if you're not going to give it to me, I mean, I can't be angry, but I can say I choose not to stay here anymore. And long story short, 3 months later, we got married. And so interestingly enough, a few years later into our marriage, we were talking about it, and he said, men are like hunters. Marriage happens one of 2 ways. We meet a woman and we immediately know that this is the woman we want to marry. Has nothing, something to do with the woman, but really the guy just knows it's someone he wants to marry. And because we're hunters and because the second we see something good, we think other guys are going to see it is just as good as we think it is, so we try to hurry up and get it off the market. He said, or we date a woman for a while and we're not really sure if she's our wife. We're not really sure if she's the one we want to marry. We're kind of back and forth. And then something happens. Maybe she puts her foot down. Maybe she says, I'm going to leave the relationship if we're not getting married. And then a light bulb goes on. and he goes, oh my gosh, this is the woman I want to marry. And then he very quickly wants to marry her. You know, it's not like I want to marry you in 3 more years or I want to marry you in 2 years. It's like once that light bulb goes off for a man, he wants to marry you. And so I thought, wow, that's really interesting. And it brings me to the 5th thing. And so just something to keep in mind, because that came from a man's point of view and I found it really intriguing. That brings me to our 5th thing, which is when you finally do put your foot down, he gets defensive. Why are you trying to push me into this? Why are you trying to make me do something I'm not ready to do? Or he puts a guilt trip on you. I can't believe you're going to throw away everything we've built. Because we're going to get married. It's coming. I can't believe you're going to put everything that we worked together out for a ring and a piece of paper. How's that going to make us more official? You begin to hear things like that versus someone just saying, well, no, I'm not going to get married, and you need to go on and find someone that wants to do what you want to do. Or, okay, let's get married. You know, and this is not as a way of twisting his arm or manipulating or playing games. It really is about you getting to have the life that you want and him getting to have the life that he wants. And so if you want marriage and he doesn't, then it's not about I'm going to make him feel bad or I'm going to play games. It's about I get to choose that. I don't have to stay here because he doesn't want to get married. And so just looking at those things, and if any of these things are present in your relationship, you know, it's really time for you to really sit down and do some soul searching and make maybe some really tough decisions, and really sit down with your partner or your boyfriend and really get clear on, okay, where is this thing going? And, you know, make the decision that's best for you based on that. And so if you guys, welcome all questions and comments, soulmatecoachcrystal@gmail.com. And you can visit me on my website, soulmatecoachcrystal.com. And if you find yourself stuck in this place and, you know, really wanting something, wanting more in your relationship, not knowing how to get to it, definitely send me an email and we can set up a sample session and help you to get some clarity around what it is you want, and help you to create a way to build the kind of relationship that you want. Well, that's it for today, guys. I will talk with you soon. Take care and blessings.